Are you ready to go all in?
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
And welcome to the All In Practice Growth Podcast. The podcast brings you a different perspective on the dental and medical industries. I'm your host, Shane McElroy, and I'm so excited to be here today live in the ZimVie Institute's TV studio in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, where at this time of year, every time of year is lovely, right? So excited to be here for a big shoot today, but I'm really excited about our guest because we've actually had this guest on before, and this was a few years back at the first or second DIA meeting, and I got to meet them then. But in the time span between that podcast and now, we've actually had the chance to work together for a number of years, no longer working together, but working adjacent to. And this person's been a friend. They've been a mentor. I've said this before, they're probably the leader when it comes to dental and even medical education globally. Does some incredible things when it comes to education, and it's always cutting edge. So welcome to the podcast, Mr. Ken Varner. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you for having me. That's a pretty good introduction. I got a lot to live up to.
Well, as long as the checks cash, we're good.
They will.
That's how that's going to be.
Just hold it for a couple of weeks. It'll be okay.
You were on this podcast. I think it was the second DIA.
Yeah, it was the DIA. I remember bumping into you. We had a couple conversations and everything, and we started talking shop, right?
Yeah.
And we're going back and forth. And you go, hey, what are you doing in like 20 minutes? And I'm like, walking around this cool event. Like, this is crazy. And he goes, meet me back here. And I was like, sure, what are we doing? And you go, you're going to get on a podcast. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I've never done that before. Yeah. So that was a good experience.
Have you done a few since?
I have. I've done a few.
Yeah. When was it? Was it six years ago? 5, 6? It's been a while.
I think it was probably 6 years ago, if my memory serves
Something
me
like
right.
that.
Yeah, it was about 6 years ago.
But in that time period, we did get to work directly together. So how awful was it working with me?
It was phenomenal working with you. You know, it's interesting when you have to work with Shane for a short period of time, and then immediately becomes, a shorthand, right? It's kind of like you tell half the story, and he's like, I get it.
That's
and
the
then
ADD.
he comes to you, and he goes, yeah, I get it. So it's, when you're cut from the same cloth, when you're creative, when you like to do things this way, it's the shorthand I thought was quicker than I got with most people.
Oh, for sure.
I've worked with people for 10 years, and then you assume a shorthand every time.
Those non-ADD people out there, what that means, what he's saying is shorthand is you start your topic, your thing, halfway through your first sentence, I've already got to the last sentence. And so in my head, I've completed whatever you said. And now I'm trying to pretend like I'm paying attention and be patient to wait till you get to. But when you become friends, then you just go, I got it, keep going, right? And so that's for you non-ADD people out there.
Well, I am not one of them. I am one of the ADD, ADHD. I think
one of us.
One of us. Yes, exactly.
So
there's a benefit to that. I know this isn't about mental health here, but I think there's a benefit when you have multiple thoughts going in different directions and you're creative. I tend to see more creative people tend to have leaning that direction, and to go back to you and me working together. Very creative. One of the most creative people I've worked with in 23 years in the industry.
Sometimes that's great. Sometimes that's awful. You never know.
Well,
too creative.
If you're more creative than me, I'm like, let's go to somebody else. And,
Well, I think it's that nonlinear thinking, right? So it doesn't have to be A to get to B to get to C. And for those who don't think that way, it looks like complete chaos. So occasionally it is. But I think it's just a different way of thinking. But I think it's a superpower if used effectively.
It's funny. I work with a lot of people that kind of use. You ever hear of Occam razor? Mm-hmm. The engineering term. The 100%. Shortest line between A and B is a straight line.
Yep.
So you have people that need the straight line,
100%.
Analytical people that need that, and they're needed in most situations to a certain degree. But the ones who like A, B, but what if I go backwards?
Yes.
What if we went backwards, made a right, made a left, and then jumped? How would that work out? And then in our brains, that's how it works. I mean,
well, I think
this has been brought to you by a pharmaceutical company.
I'm kidding. But I think what you're saying there is like, I always say this, I'm at A, I see Z. I don't know any of the other steps in between there, but I trusted myself to figure it out. But I know I can see that in the fog, right? Whereas I think some people, like my wife is particular, she has to go A to B to C in every step of the way, and both have their pluses and minuses, right?
It's the yin and the yang, right? I mean, my wife is the same way as yours. Mine is very straightforward. Like there is a game plan before we leave the house.
Yes.
I'm lucky if I got my pants on before we leave the house, let alone both shoes and the keys.
We'll figure it out along the way.
And she's like, well, what are you doing? We're running late for part B of the program. Like, what? We're going to the Costco. Like,
it's on your calendar that I sent you 47 times. Be like, I totally looked.
Yeah, but I think, and that, to bring this back to business, I think every team needs that.
Oh, yeah.
If there was just you and I on a team, oh my God.
Or what if it was even worse? Our whole team is just us. Oh, that would be.
Well, I mean, we'd somehow cure cancer and figure out cold fusion.
We'd figure out the idea, but
on paper, it would never get done.
Exactly.
That's why you need a Doug Brown. Shout out to Doug Brown. Yeah.
He's kind of your right-hand guy here.
He's in front of me, beside me, all around me. He is synonymous with me and Doug. Doug runs the Americas for us. Does a phenomenal job.
Well, why don't you actually tell everybody, ADD, us, you kind of went into stuff before. Tell everybody a little bit about your background, like, because I want to get the story of like when you first got into dental and all that, but kind of give your high-level background of who you are, what you do.
So I am currently the global director of education for ZimVie. We're a dental implant company. Really, our only focus is tooth replacement. Mm-hmm. That's it. We focus only on that. We don't have any other product offerings. We #1 regen company. But myself, I started in the fitness industry. So I was in construction my entire life, got into the fitness industry, but went to school for physical therapy and hated it. I had to do the 5th year of the master's program. You had to do volunteer work, 200 hours. And it was geriatrics, pediatrics, geriatrics. And I'm like, whoa, I can't do this. I went back to school for a business degree and stayed in the fitness industry. I was a national sales manager at a company called Polar, the wireless heart rate monitors. I love the industry. I really did. But what I really found out that I loved with some introspection and you thinking back, at Polar, we worked with West Point, the MBA, and a whole bunch of schools to create curriculums.
Sure.
And I really liked education. I found out I was passionate about it. I love that. We did a program for K through 12 for kids. And, shocker, Johnny doesn't need to run a mile in 8 minutes. Johnny needs to stay at 80% of his heart rate for 20 minutes, right? Yeah. So I really liked that, and I decided to get into a company from an educational perspective. I wanted to be medical. And a company called Solzer Medical was hiring, and they wanted me to come in as an educational person.
Yep.
Long story short, I had to carry a bag for a period of time.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I did. So my entire life was sales, but I was happy that I carried a bag here for a little while, and then I got into education. I was running universities for the East Coast, then the West Coast. Then we started building these things called ZimVie Institutes. Yep. And one thing led to another, and 23 years later, I'm the global director. I'm making some of the decisions here educationally.
You make quite a few decisions. You allow others to make decisions, which I think is pretty impressive.
It's a team effort, man. Like, honestly, I have a phenomenal team. Like, I'm part of a phenomenal team. For everybody. Sure. And not just education. I mean, when you look at our R&D team, our marketing team, our leadership, I'm in a good spot. This is a good place 100%, to be.
100%. Like, and I know all the people you're talking about. And it's unbelievable passion at every level. Some of the best people I ever met in the industry, so.
We were sitting at a dinner the other night and we did the quick math and we're like, there's like 4 or 5 of us there. And they're like, hey, there's 140 years of dental history here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like at any random moment, there's 100 years of education.
Well, you got half
experience.
Of that shit already, dude.
Yeah, I know, I'm a quarter of it. Yeah.
I know, I look back, I'm already 20 years deep and I'm like, oh my God, that's fast.
Yeah, and you started BioHorizons was your first one?
It was in dental, BioHorizons. No, it wasn't BioHorizons. It was Meisinger.
Okay.
So it was Meisinger, BioHorizons, ZimVie, right? So, but Meisinger, I was selling burrs and diamonds. Like, I had this wallet, a giant wallet with, thousands of different burrs and diamonds. And basically, like,
I remember
go ahead,
Brassler.
good luck.
Yeah, I remember Brassler with the book with all the diamond burrs and everything.
It's puts you to the grindstone, man. It's a good way to get in. But I'd sold copiers before that. So my first 2 years out of school, I was selling copiers, which have been a brutal game. So when I got into dental, I was like, this is awesome. They're so nice here. Instead of just yelling at you and knocking on every door.
Well, the interesting thing about dental is, at least in that situation, they needed the products. Whereas copier, No one
You
ever
don't
wanted
even
the
know.
products. They go, nah, we're good. We're good. And you're like, but you have, nah, we're good.
So
We're good.
right when I graduated and came out and got into that game, Staples and whatever, like Office Depot, whatever, had just released the HP do-it-yourself for like $200, and I'm trying to sell a $10,000 to $20,000 copier back in 2000, early 2000s. It was, I saw a team of 12 salespeople on this one team. I saw 14 people come and go in 1 year. Right? Like, I was like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, young kids out there, capital equipment early on may not be the best thing for you.
It is a great filtering system to see if you can take any kind of rejection.
You were 7
I was
no's
used to
before
that
your
from all
yes,
the
yeah.
ladies for years, so no big deal for me.
So that worked out.
It was great training.
So your wife is happy that you're a copier salesperson first. So it
No,
7 no's to get a yes. She was good with that.
She just says no. That's what she says. So, all right. But let's get back to your story. It's not keep going down my ADD tunnels. But all right. So you started out as you're selling dental implants.
Yeah, I was a rep for about 18 months.
18 months. So being a rep versus directly into education, how did being a sales rep first help you with your roles later?
Honestly, I don't want to be corny, but it showed me the end. It showed me what done looks like. Do you mind if I tell a little story?
Yeah, please.
So there was a guy named Fisher, and there's an oral surgery practice in the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx. Dr. Fisher and Dr. Moore. And Dr. Moore was phenomenal, so was Dr. Fisher. And I'm early on in this career, weeks in, and they want me to sit in. They have to do an overdenture because the restorative doctor isn't available. And he's like, I've done these at residency. I can do it. Can you come sit in? So I'm my first real sit in on this, and it's in an oral surgery practice. It's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Overdenture and oral surgery practice. I go into the operatory. They give me lab coats. Put on lab coat. Just stand in the corner, look like an expert. I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, your doctor couldn't be available. We wanted to get this denture in, and we brought in an expert from the company just to make sure. So this guy's sitting in the chair. He's stoic. He's probably like 50 years old, right? Sitting there, nothing to say. He's a typical New Yorker. No, it was soft, right? It was soft. And they leave the operatory multiple times, obviously, because it's not a comfortable procedure for him. And I said, how are you? And he goes, good. Are you? I'm like, good. Wouldn't say a word to me. So Dr. Moore comes back in, does a little salt and pepper technique, snaps it in, holds it, right? Does the next one, same thing. And then he goes, you're set. The guy goes, bites down. I don't know, you can't, if you're listening to this, you don't say it. He bites down a couple times and he goes, yeah, and this is how you pop it up. And this stoic guy starts hysterically crying, like a baby. And I'm like, oh, man, and he goes, you don't understand, man. Like, I love to dance. I love to go out. I couldn't do it. Dude, I couldn't eat. I couldn't, like, I cover my face all the time, man. And I'm like, I'm emotional. Like, I'm like,
oh, yeah.
What? And he goes, you changed my, and he gets up and hugs me. I would have thought there was a better chance walking in the laboratory that he punches me, let alone hugs me. But that's the end result. And I've seen that hundreds of times. And everybody in our industry, every doctor listening to this has seen that. But that's the end result. So I think how it's impacted my career today is every time we do a course, even if it's a web-based course or something, even if it's a coordinator or somebody in the materials department, every month we remind them how many patients you impacted, man. You changed somebody's life today.
That's great because you don't get to see that as a rep.
No.
And some of these reps are, you understand, when I was out there, like, I was truly helping some clinicians.
Yeah.
My first full arch fixed case story, I was filming it then. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was just trying to keep up with everything, right? And it was like 8-hour case, nightmare kind of case. Oof. I didn't know any better at the time, right? And then I'm filming this patient at the end. She gets up out of her chair and or looks in the mirror, starts crying, and I'm like, oh no, she hates it.
Yeah.
And then she pops up and hugs me first, like, you changed my life. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on, but I like this. Like, I like this feeling that I'm not just selling you screw, I'm helping somebody like get out of jail. Right, and that's what it was for them, like a prison. Their teeth were prison.
Well, you think about I think that's something that they don't teach in dental school, right? Like the impact. But I think it's the crack that these dentists are hooked on too, man. Like every day, you change somebody's life. That's kind of cool. You're an orthopedic surgeon, like you get to go in and say, hey, walk on that thing afterwards, but like you don't see them running a marathon. You get to see these people immediately after and the impact. But to bring that back home, every day, that's what we get to do. and we train 100,000 doctors a year globally.
Okay, let's stop right there. How on earth can you train that quantity of doctors globally?
Well, so there's a couple things. So we have educational facilities. So if we start at the top and work our way back, we built an infrastructure. Like right now, we're sitting in our TV studio, one of two that we have, one in Switzerland, one here. But we have the pièce de résistance is our institutes. We have multiple facilities around the world that does hands-on training. And I need to stress, it does real clinical hands-on training.
I've been to a bunch of different ones, guys. They're sick.
Yeah, we don't just put a sawdust maxilla with a hole already drilled and say, hey, put the screw in there. No, we make them do the flat, everything. And restoratively, like we'll give them, every restorative course has challenges. The framework fits, it doesn't fit, you got to section it, Duralate, you get it. So the top of the top is our institutes. That's where the real clinical training. But we kind of have an educational philosophy.
Well, hold on one second. Where are those institutes in the world?
So we have an institute in Carlsbad. We have an institute in Florida. Carlsbad, California is right outside San Diego. Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Bogota, Colombia. Winterthur, Switzerland. We also have lecture facilities in Costa Rica. We have one in Santiago also. And then we have San Antonio. We have another training center there in San Diego associated with Implant Concierge, one of the companies that is within our portfolio.
We need to go on a tour and do this, man.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
We should start the podcast and then finish it at each one. Yeah.
Switzerland.
Yeah, of course. Switzerland's beautiful.
I've never been, so.
I don't eat chocolate, but yeah, I can. It's crazy. Yeah, I bring it back for my wife, but there.
Well, you better.
So when you look at our educational pyramid, if we flip it on its side, the top of it is the institutes, the best training classes, and even talk to anybody in the industry. It really is the best training classes. We spend a lot of effort. We have 600 contracted speakers around the world. They help us put whoever we want and teach whatever we need to teach in there. When you go down, we do regional programs. So this year, just to give you some numbers, in North America, we've done 484 educational courses regionally.
Dang.
This is where we bring in speakers. We have reps. We also have people on staff. We have a CDT, Wayne Czar, shout out to Wayne.
He's the man.
He does courses. We have a guy named Matt Shipley, phenomenal
Matt's
hygienist.
amazing.
He does courses. Then the reps are able to do courses because we create content in our studios and online, and then that's CE content. So we put all of that content into our app. Our educational app is in 132 countries. It has multiple languages in there. You can go in and look up whatever you want. Overdentures, full arch, single units.
Do you charge for the app?
Zero.
Okay. Wow.
Zero. The app is free, and all of the education on the app is free. All the on-demands are free.
Wow.
So that's kind of where we start. The other thing that we do is we're pretty heavily in universities too. So we understand that doctors defer back to what they learned to. So 42% of the pre-doctoral students in the United States are trained on our system. So you add all of that up, the regional programs, the web-based courses. Our web-based courses are weekly. So every Tuesday we do a web-based course, and then we rebroadcast that on Thursday at a different hour for the left coast people out there in California, right? But all of that together, combined with phenomenal sales reps in the field, gets us to about 100,000 doctors every year.
And being able to see it over, of course, a number of years and how much, not just the quantity, right? So quantity is great, but without quality, it doesn't matter.
No, you sound like our president. Like his name is Indranil, and Indranil goes, "I don't care about the numbers. I care about the quality. What are you doing?" And we care about the quality.
Oh yeah.
We consider, like Janet Carr, the young lady who runs all of our institutes. She always refers to every course as the Super Bowl.
That's the best way to.
The doctor that comes to that course may never have been to a course before. This is their only experience. We have to treat it like a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. Well, anytime I've seen or been here or brought somebody for the first time, like I try not to say too much, right? It's hard not to, but like walk them in the door, check out the lecture facility, like, well, that's pretty nice. And then I was like, hold on, hit the elevator, go upstairs, and then they walk into the actual institute upstairs, see the sim lab, like, it's huge, right? The cadaver lab, it's like kids in Candyland, man.
To put it in perspective, if you're a dentist listening to this, think about the sim lab you had at dental school and put it on steroids.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
It's digital lab. We have medits, we have printers in the lab, we have everything there so you can.
Well, talk about, I always like to play with the mannequin heads because I always found that wide mouth so funny, but these are actually not, you can just go buy these, right?
No, these are patented models that only we can use. We and a couple companies joined together to create it. So the companies that manufacture for us, which I will not say, we own the patents on it. So there are 8 different patients. And again, you could take the mandible from patient 1 and mix it with the maxilla for patient 8. So there's a whole bunch of different variations.
Sure.
And they're based on real patients. So we partnered with 13 dental schools, and we had them find patients. So, for example, our full arch, which is case number 8, one of our full arch cases, Dr. Ed McGlumphy from the Ohio State found a patient.
Other than that, he's cool.
Other than no. OHIO. My son goes there, so I had to give him a shout
Fair
out.
enough.
But they found a patient, and we documented it all the way through. And what's amazing is I remember the first time Dr. McGlumphy came in, and he's like, dude, this is the patient.
Yeah.
He's like everything. So we have panorexis, periapicals, medical history, socioeconomic history, surgically and restoratively. It's cortical, cancellous, periosteum. There's a periodontal ligament on some of them that you have to, So it's very real. Schneiderian membranes.
Like the way it drills, it feels like real bone. Do you have cortical bone?
Cortical and cancellous.
Wow.
You could take a block from the ramus or the chin itself, and it feels real. If I took a block from the ramus and put it here, and then I put one of our actual J blocks next to it, I challenge you to tell me which is human bone.
And that's always when people say, like, it feels so real.
Yeah.
And like my favorite feature is just because I'm a nerd, is remember the game Operation as a kid where you hit the wall with the metal?
I know what you're talking about.
So like, explain to them what I'm referencing.
So what he's referencing to is, again, one of the patents on these models is we have nerves, live nerves. If you drill too far, the eyes will light up.
Yes.
Now, when we were first creating this, is a shout out to Dr. Fred Bell.
By the way, I think you should have had it like flip up to the patient sitting up.
That's what I'm getting at. So Dr. Fred Bell is an oral surgeon from Texas, San Antonio, worked in the universities for years. He's the brainchild behind this. And when he first created this, we're looking at it, and I'm like, something audible? He's like, what? I was like, think of the same game, the Operation game. And he's like, no, we're not going to. I was like, well, when you hit that, it should go, right?
Yeah.
Or a lawyer should come in the room and say, give me your car keys or something like that.
100%.
And he's like, no, we can't do that. But what's interesting there is when you say that, there's cortical and cancellous. And when you hit the canal, you feel it. Yeah. You really do feel it, right? So it's amazing the quality. Now, look, we cannot replicate what God created.
Of course.
So we also have upstairs a cadaver lab.
Oh, okay.
So we get as close as we possibly can, and then we have a cadaver lab. And there's some uniqueness in our cadaver lab. So most people out here has probably been to a cadaver course or used a cadaver in education. I can comfortably sit here and tell you that we have a better experience.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, man.
They're fresh frozen. They're not embalmed. I know it sounds like I'm talking about poultry or something, but the problem is when you embalm or deep freeze one of these specimens, right, you affect the cellular level. The ice crystals burst the cellular walls, and so that when you touch a cadaver, the tissue just sloughs off. Or the bone is very brittle. Ours are fresh frozen, never embalmed. We thaw them at a specific rate. They feel real. We mount them literally on a modified knee bracket. So it's at the end of the table, and you can manipulate it. We drape the table, and it looks like you're working on a full patient. We also have a laptop in front of you. And the reason you have a laptop is we've done a CBCT on that. So you're not working at a head in a bowl and have no idea where you're going blindly. Or worst case scenario, you've all seen those courses where they cut the head in half. This is a full head. Everything is draped. Everything is put together. And we have all of the markers right in front of you. Open up the CBCT. Open up the software. How far is it to the sinus? This. Kind of cool. Yeah.
You tell the story. You told me about this, about that one doctor who it felt so real.
Oh, no, yeah. So you're in a course, and this will only doctors will get this. And I kept hearing, open, open, open. And I'm like, and it took me like 3 opens to get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
He forgot.
Yeah. So I went and got a bone. I got a bone block. And I go over and I was like, we want to use this. He's, yeah.
It's like, which that'll snap you back to reality real quick.
Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned a few things in that, but also earlier you were talking about you got into education and you built curriculums outside of dentistry. You like that, right?
Yeah.
Which it's funny to see, hearing that now, getting to work with you and then seeing some of the things that you created, these level up education approaches. This is not weekend warrior courses. This is a true path to clinical efficiency and competency, right? In whatever that you're planning to train for. And then being in the DSO space on the sales side, getting to work with you, helping create that. Can you kind of take us through your philosophy and really ZimVie Institute's philosophy on education and building curriculums for the individual, but also for like DSOs, because that's a huge thing for them.
So it's interesting. We have an educational philosophy. A small little school in Massachusetts created this. I don't know if you, Harvard, I think is what the name of it is.
Ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. Yeah. I've been allowed to drive by it.
They don't let me in. No, I know what it is.
Yeah. So it's a thing called theory, knowledge acquisition, technique review, and skill development. Mm-hmm. And you can learn through trial and error. And most of us do. So I'll give you an example. Riding a bike or playing golf. Yeah. Golf is a good one. We both golf. So I try to golf, you golf. So you're looking at 10,000 feet. You look down and you see, okay, Shane's trying to get the ball from there to the hole over there. And he's using clubs to do so. You zoom down the 5,000 feet and you go, oh, wait a minute. He's using different clubs based on how far he needs to hit the ball because the ball's going at it. Okay, you zoom in a little further. His swing is slightly different. Okay. You zoom in a little further, and then you slow it down, and you say, oh, look at how he turns his hand. Look at what he does.
Watch him miss that 3-footer.
Exactly. Watch that putt just go right. So theory is understanding the concept itself at a bigger level. So we put educational courses together and on-demand courses so you can understand the theory. Knowledge acquisition is you watch it multiple times at a closer level. I'm watching people do removable cases over and over again, all the way down to what materials they use, right?
Sure.
So theory, knowledge acquisition, technique review is I'm there. I got a video I'm recording. I'm looking at their finger rest. I'm looking at where they're holding it, what instruments they're using, or in the golf analogy, their backswing, they're slowing down, how they're turning, how their hand is moving, right? I watch all of that. Now I go try to play golf. So if you go back to the bike analogy, this is what we do in everything. If it's baking a cake, riding a bike, or restoring implants. Doctors go, they learn about it, they read an article, they watch a video, and then they try and try and try, and through trial and error, they become competent. Where if you follow the theory, knowledge acquisition, technique review, and skill development, that means, hey, I'm looking at the bike, I'm figuring it out, I see where the handlebars go, I see where the brakes go, I've watched a couple videos, I understand that the right one is the back brake, the left one is the front brake. If I squeeze that, I'll flip over. When they're pedaling, they're going to the right and the left. If people go through that process and then start, they'll get to competency so much quicker. So if you want to learn implant dentistry, you can go watch 100 courses, go to the Marriott 15 different times, watch different people, try it with your patients, and eventually you're going to become competent.
Sure.
But when you do it through the process I just explained, you will get there a lot quicker with a lot less bumps and bruises.
Predictably, and I think that's the way. It's efficient because where you could say, like, maybe there's more steps along the way. It's a proven path. Right? Well, there's not going to restart anywhere.
Technically, it's not more steps, right? So people who go through and do a crash course on the weekend and then watch a whole bunch of videos and stuff, if you look at the amount of time that they spent, it's probably twice as much time as if you took a focused career or a focused curriculum, right? You know, you look at universities have a curriculum for a reason, right? Like I could go become an accountant by watching all these videos, studying all these different math and figuring out Excel spreadsheets and QuickBooks and all that other fun stuff. But at the end of the day, I probably spend as much time as I would.
Yeah, fair enough.
Time. Yeah.
But it was cool to see like so many, like for groups of like creating these predictable paths and the way you guys would structure it, put it on in whatever manner they wanted to. And what I mean by that is, we don't have the budget for this. Let's go ahead and do this virtual program. Let's do these skills kits, which are hands-on at home kits. But
that's when you look at back to the DSOs, to the points that you asked in the beginning. The problem with DSOs is, well, the problem with any practice is I can't take them out of the practice. Right? They have to be in their practice.
100%.
So we know what they need and we can get there, but we have to be creative. So we do the virtual programs, the live programs, the local programs, build kits that go right to them. DSO is one of the things that we do a little, I think, differently is if you own a DSO and I come in and talk to you and you're going to say, hey, How quickly can you get my doctors to competency on these 3 things? And I'm going to spit a number out, right? But the problem is I don't know where your doctors are now. So with DSOs, one of the things we do is an assessment. We want to know where your doctors currently are. Who's an A, who's a B, who's a C, who's a D, similar to the referral model.
Sure.
We assess where your doctors are, and we have to usually create 1 or 2 paths with all of the barriers in front of us. It's got to be inexpensive. It's got to be efficient. It can't take doctors out of practice. We still need to generate revenue. So if you look at every DSO you meet a DSO, you meet one DSO. Everyone's slightly different.
They're all different.
But every curriculum is the same. It's a flexible curriculum that allows them to continue to practice and learn along the way, following the philosophy that we have to get them to competency quicker. So one term here that we do use is the measuring. The bar that we have is competency. I never put the bar of proficiency on my people because that's only done through repetition.
Sure.
And I don't want a doctor coming back and taking time out of their practice and coming to my facility or one of our facilities 15 times to be proficient. No, we can get you to competency, then you have to go back and do it. Right. 100%. And then over time, you will become proficient.
And then there's options later for more advanced stuff.
Exactly. Then you get through the removables. Now I'm a restorative doctor and I want to do full arch. So you start all over again. Theory, knowledge acquisition.
Well, you screwed up and you mentioned golf earlier.
I did.
And so now I need you to tell everybody about my favorite course that you created here at ZimVie. Where I've been to a few at the PGA National Resort. Called the Titanium Tech Forums. Would you please, just because this is my when you told me about this, I was like, oh, what is this, Christmas? Right? Will you explain what those are?
So early on in the process, we've done these courses, and it's always led with education. One of the things that we don't do is I don't do a boat, let's go on this cruise, and I'll have you watch a 30-minute dental video, and then you're on the cruise for 4 days, and so it's always education-led. So we were creating these courses, and we do these things called tech forums. And so in the name, Titanium Tech Forum, titanium, obviously for implants, but the tech forums were where when you go through the process, you want to watch an expert go over treatment planning and going over cases from beginning to end over and over and over again. So we put these courses on. It's a 1-day course called a tech forum. And let's say the topic is full arch. We have an expert in front of the room going over multiple cases, and it's an open forum. Ask questions, stop him, and they're going over and over and over and over again. And they were really cool, and we had great success. So doctors go to a tech forum. They can bring their referrals. They can bring them as a group. They can come by themselves. Mostly it's groups that come down, and they have a great time. So we were like, what if we put one on steroids? What if we bring in this doctor and, spend a little bit more money, do it a little bit more bigger, or more bigger is proper English. Maybe we do this a little larger. What can we do? And we said, well, what if we put it we have the attendance. What if we made it a charity event?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, doctors can come down. I said, well, wait a minute. Let's tie golf to it.
Yeah.
So we created
You're in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
It's kind of what they do here, right? We just had one last weekend in Carlsbad, California.
How was that?
It was great. It was phenomenal. Dr. Jonathan Esquivel did a course. He's such a stud.
But how was the golf?
The golf was, I don't know. I came here. I missed the golf part.
Oh.
But
for the All In podcast.
Yeah, but Doug Brown golfed, and he's a scratch golfer.
He's like a real golfer.
Yeah, he is. I pretend to be a golfer. But the concept here is we put on a phenomenal kick butt I don't want to curse on this podcast.
Do whatever you want.
Kick-ass educational course at one of these Titanium Tech Forums, and we tie a golf outing to it. And it's a real golf outing. There's competition. It's a scramble, longest drive, closest to the pin, that kind of stuff.
I love it.
But all of the proceeds go to a charity. Right.
Yes.
And we're partnering right now with Operation Smile. And if you guys do not know the McGee's, talk about one of those moments in life you reference back to meeting people and making an impact. What the McGee's do every single day is phenomenal. I could take the rest of the podcast to talk about Operation Smile, but I challenge you to look it up. So all the proceeds from that goes to a charity.
So you're going to go to a course, then you got to go to a golf course and play a charity event, which you could win prizes at, which just playing PGA is pretty awesome.
I'll tell you a story. So we were at the one in Carlsbad, and it's during the lecture, and a doctor comes up to me and he goes, man, I came here for the golf, but Esquivel's good.
Yeah.
He goes, he's good. And I'm like,
that's what you want.
Yeah,
too,
that's
right?
that's
It's
exactly
like-
what you want. You want to if you can learn something along the way. I mean, so for me, that's the triple crown, right? You're learning something along the way, you're giving back, and you're getting to have a good time.
Educational experience, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, I've always like, invite all your friends. Like, if I'm a doctor, I'm calling all my buddies who golf, like, doing all that. It's like, we're going. Like, why not? Because this is the other funny part. If you don't mind, this is in 2025, in the fall, the price may change if it's later. What are you guys charging for this? Including the golf. What's the whole rolling fee?
$699.
So that includes what?
Airfare, lodging, and just let me put things in perspective. You're flying from your home city in New York, which is where I live, right? Yeah. My airfare up to $400 is covered. I come down and stay at the PGA National,
yes, which is pretty nice.
Not bad, right? And we're playing at the PGA National. Everything is covered: food, lodging, you name it. It's all inclusive, right?
So your flights, golf, tuition for the CE too.
Yeah, that's everything.
Everything for $699. And until I worked out, how is that possible?
Janet Carr is independently wealthy. Yes. She funds the whole. No, it's not philanthropy. Like when we train doctors well.
Sure.
They're going to use our products. And I'm confident that our portfolio, I'll go against anybody toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
Regen, implants, you name it. We have the best portfolio. We get them here. So it's kind of that, right? Like, let them experience our products. But I do need to stress something that when we do a CE course, I take it very seriously. I'll give you an example. We sell regenerative material, as you're aware of. We also sell a sinus lift kit, right? Rotary tool that you can go in. So we go to put on a course, and we're trying to build this sinus lift course, and the doctor's like, oh, so you want me to do it all rotary? I was like, no, I want you to use the piezo, I want you to use the burr, I want you to... And he goes, yeah, but you don't, you want me to use... I was like, no, we're teaching sinus lifts, teach every type of sinus lift. And he's like, osteotome? I was like, yeah, every
what do you use?
And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, this is CE. I take this seriously, right? I believe our products will stand on their own. Try it, play with it, enjoy it. And we've done pretty well up to this point, right? It's pretty good products, but CE is CE. Like, you'll come to one of our courses and you'll be like, hey, man, is that competitor X that they're showing up there on that overdenture? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It's CE, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you've always been good about that. Be like, real world. We don't want to, this isn't a commercial.
Exactly.
And I think that's, some are, right? We just got to be honest. Some programs that other companies do are commercials.
Well, I mean, look, just be honest. I understand where they're coming from. Right?
Oh, sure.
I understand. We should only be shown. But at the end of the day, look, doctors are smart. They're going to come here and be like, we're going to go to the tech forum. If they feel like it's a timeshare thing, they're going to sniff it out right away. The rep comes up and says, hey, as you're doing that, here's our specials. You can't sell in my courses.
Yes.
If the worst thing ever is a rep comes in and tries to sell in my courses. Yeah. I don't know if you can't see this on the podcast, but I'm a pretty big guy. That's the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yeah.
So doctors are smart. They know there's a lot of options out there. And if our products are really that good, it stands on its own. But CE should not be that.
No. Now, referencing back to the golf tournaments, right, the titanium tech forums, I do have a request. Can All In come and heckle people on a par 3 challenge?
You and I talked about that briefly, and is it good or is it adjacent?
There's a couple that do. Goods are pretty good at it.
Yeah, and I think that's something we should do for the next golf outing.
I don't need to practice. I do that every time I play golf. I heckle everybody else or myself.
Well, even if it's inside, I heckle everybody. They're at the tee box, and I'm like, huh? Does he just come from a cruise that looks like cruise wear? Is that you know what I mean? It's no. I love that idea.
We'll have to do that. It'll be, don't worry, docs, if you're afraid of that, it'll be a voluntary thing where you get to choose.
Well, voluntary if we film it. But we're going to heckle you one way or the other.
That's going to happen, right?
Yeah, but
whether
we're going to film
evidence.
It, put it on video, right? No, but we have a good time. We definitely have a good time on the for the most part of the golf outings. People have if it was just all pure education, I think we can do this all day long, but we try to add an experience to it.
That you create an experience. Yeah. And that's always been my thing. And it's fun. You stay at awesome places, you pay almost nothing for it, you get amazing education, a great facility, and the locations are sick. You guys have kind of knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, we don't make you go to Cleveland.
No, it's funny.
No offense to Cleveland.
I mean, is it Cleveland Rocks or is it Cleveland Sucks? I can't
remember.
Remember.
I think it's Cleveland Rocks. But let's go. You're not flying to Manitoba. For my Canadian people out there, I love Manitoba. It's beautiful, but It's pretty cold.
It is pretty cold. All right. So, Ken, you're a pretty big sports fan, right?
Huge.
So who are your professional teams? Who are they?
My professional teams are Fly Eagles Fly, baby. Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles. Never heard of them.
Never heard of them. You may they won it. They won.
Football?
It's American football. Yeah, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. Lived in New York, but my professional teams, believe it or not, are the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Yankees, the Knicks.
The Knicks. Okay. Well, I think there's a couple questions on like Philadelphia teams.
Oh, okay. My National League team is the Phillies, who, by the way, just clinched last night. I don't know what time this podcast is going to go out, but Bryce Harper.
Well, we'll see. All right. So I want to see how many I got. Like 9, 10, 8 questions maybe.
Okay.
I just want to see how many get right because I know how much you love Philly and sports, and so let's start it off. Right. So first question. This is actually one of the more difficult questions. In 1982, a trade by the Phillies, considered one of the worst in all history, when they acquired Ivan de Jesus for Larry Bowa and this other player, right? So the Phillies traded away Larry Bowa and one other player for Ivan de Jesus. Can you name that other player?
82, I was 10, so I don't know who I can get. Do you know
the position?
They have
died recently. Second base.
Second base, I'm screwed. I'm lost. Yeah,
Ryne Sandberg. So the Phillies in 1982, the year I was born, traded my favorite second baseman ever to the Chicago Cubs.
Chase Utley. Sorry.
No, Chase Utley. I don't know that. So 0 for 1. That was a tough one. We got the tough ones out of the way.
I became a baseball. Let me clarify this. So when I was growing up, I played baseball a lot, but I was a football fan. And then when I came to New York, I came here temporarily. I followed a girl. And we go to a Yankees game, and she starts keeping score. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I got tickets. We go to 15, 20 games a year. And, okay. And there's a young guy named Derek Jeter that just came up. There's a guy named Mariano Rivera. So over the years, I became a diehard Yankee fan. So I'm good with Yankee trivia.
But do you like Phillies?
I like the Phillies. I mean, they're my National League team because if you like the Yankees, you hate the Mets. So they play against the Mets.
Well, this team has won 1,330 games played against the Phillies, and where the Phillies have only won 1,212 out of the 2,542 head-to-head games. Meaning this other team that you're supposed to guess.
That would be the Atlanta Braves.
That would be the Atlanta Braves, my hometown team.
Yeah. How are they doing this year? I think the playoffs is coming up. Atlanta. Is anybody have the?
I wouldn't worry about it, but because they won World Series not that long ago.
They did. This is a team in the '90s that had by far the best pitching ever.
Hey, we won one of those World Series.
They won one.
Dude, I know.
I mean, it's because the Yankees won
I went to every
96, 97.
I went to every series too with my dad in the '90s, and at least we won one of them.
But you did play against the Yankees. What happened with that series?
On to the next question.
Okay, sorry.
This team lost the 1981 Super Bowl to the Oakland Raiders, then lost the 2005 Super Bowl to the New England Patriots, and the 2023 Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, so Dick Vermeil early on, we lost to the Raiders, and then we brought in Andy Reid as our coach, and
who was the team?
It's the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles. We just wanted to name all the Super Bowls that they've lost.
Yes, exactly. And then what did they do? So they lost to the Chiefs. And then what did they do the next year, which was last year, to the Chiefs?
And on to the next question. The first MLB team to reach 10,000 losses ever.
Would it be the Phillies?
It's absolutely the Philadelphia Phillies. Losers.
So that's one of the oldest teams, right?
Listen, we don't need to go into the details.
Listen, can we talk about Boston Red Sox for a second? They sucked for 86 years. I mean, that was bad.
Let's go to our next question, though. This NBA team in the 1972-1973 season had a 9-73 record, which is the second worst record in NBA history. A 26-game losing streak in 2013-2014 and a 28-game losing streak in 2015-2016. Which was just 2 losses shy of the all-time record.
Yes, and that team in the 70s, when we're talking about that, they just came from the ABA. They weren't part of the NBA. They just came from the ABA. And then they got a guy named he was so good they called him Doctor.
Yeah, he was
Julius Erving. He's referring to the 76ers.
I am referring to the 76ers. Congratulations.
Embiid, come on, man. What are you doing?
Just get healthy, man.
Get healthy.
The what could have been of the process? I mean, geez Louise.
I'm more of a Nova fan than a Sixers fan right now.
Well, it's a little easier.
Well, because my wife went to Villanova and we followed the team there. So, when you see the Villanova Knicks and everything else,
course.
The Sixers got, we had the answer. We had Allen. I mean, there's something.
I like what they got going on they just have the Paul George $50 million contract blew my mind. I like Paul George, just not for $50 million at this point in his career. And then it's all Embiid. If Embiid's healthy, he's...
Look, Maxi's no joke either. They got a good team.
Ridiculous.
But it is all...
Springer.
When your entire team... Like, you can have your team revolve around a power forward, a point guard. Their entire team revolves around Embiid. And they haven't changed it, even with him being hurt as much as he is.
Oh, no, they
right?
haven't. They re-upped his contract. I don't know. All right, on to the next question. This NHL team lost the Stanley Cup Series in 1976, 1980, 1985, 1987, 1997, and 2010. Pretty big losers. Who are they?
That's called the Broad Street Bullies, and they're called that for a reason. It's the Flyers.
They are. So the Flyers are your pick for the losers, and that is correct.
Yes. And how many did they win in the row, though, in the 80s?
I don't have those stats in front of me right now. We don't have the winning stats. Just these, and I just said, ChatGPT, give me random questions.
All right, random questions, Philadelphia. Jimmy's on South Street is the best cheesesteak. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you that right now from Philadelphia.
Well, this might be your favorite NBA team. And this team has the most wins all time versus the 76ers.
So it got to be in conference.
Very likely.
I don't know. Who has the most wins against the Sixers? We don't really have a rival.
No.
Indiana?
Beat by them so often. It is the Boston Celtics. Oh, that's tough.
Actually, so let's go.
I will actually say this. I did look at the records all the time, and I was expecting them to be on the wrong side of it. But they're not. They're actually, Boston's one of the only teams that has a winning record over them over that period of time.
Well, it was like the Eagles in the 90s, right?
Oh, yeah.
With Andy Reid. We went to the playoffs every year for 15 years.
The Buffalo Bills losing
exactly 4 in a row, right? Dude. Jim Kelly. Shout out to Jim Kelly. You're right. It was and then Andy Reid left, and we went through a couple quarterbacks and a couple coaches, and we got Hurts, right? Bless you, somebody. I had a plan before you had a purpose. What was Hurts' thing? Yeah.
All right, we got 2 questions left.
Yes.
This one's more for me because this is one of my favorite players ever. The Philadelphia 76ers traded this legend to the Phoenix Suns for Jeff Hornacek, Tim Perry, and Andrew Lang. Ugh.
To who? Who did we trade him to? Sorry?
The Phoenix Suns.
Oh, that is the round mound of rebounds.
Sir Charles Barkley.
Well, I can't say it anymore. He's on Ozempic or something. He's losing weight.
Yeah, he's still pretty big dude. He's gigantic. He was awesome. If you're listening to this, you don't know seeing Charles Barkley play, you just think he's big and fat. That is not the case at all. He was insanely good. He was beating up on 7-footers left and right.
He was. It was funny. I met Charles Barkley a couple times. Nice. Right. I met him at Sunny Hill, a basketball league.
He hit on my stepmom at a Hawks game one time. He sat on her lap and all that.
Congratulations.
And refused to give me an autograph.
Oh, could have been your stepdad. That
would have been sweet.
Stepdad. That was weird.
Stepdad. I never saw him.
No, he was incredible. For those young kids out there, watch Charles Barkley. He was great. The best final was Phoenix against the Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, I did.
That was incredible.
That was.
And,
he was.
And look, Michael Jordan's a GOAT. Sorry, I don't care. LeBron, you're not. No, Michael Jordan's a GOAT.
Anybody who's over the age of 30 is going to have to say that because if you saw him play, it did not even.
Yeah, my son's listening to this is 19 right now.
I love LeBron.
We have had massive arguments statistically and just emotionally that he thinks.
The one guy's a killer. The other guy is a good person, probably.
Yeah.
But, all right, last question.
Okay.
And you're going to love this one.
Okay.
Blake, this one's for you, buddy. All right. This NFL team and division rival has beaten the Eagles 3 out of the 4 times they played in the playoffs. He doesn't want to say it, folks.
It's not the team in Texas. I think they're a hockey team now. I don't think they play football anymore.
America's team.
Is it the team that used to have the star on? But aren't they a hockey team now?
Well, they might play some hockey too, but America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and don't talk trash about them, not because I care about them, but their fans are delusional, and a little psycho.
You know what? Look, if you go back 30 years when they were relevant, Troy Aikman, phenomenal. We can go back. Now, listen, I got to admit, there are some good things that came out of Dallas.
Yeah.
Tony Romo as an announcer, phenomenal, right? He's great. Micah Parsons on Green Bay right now.
Yeah,
so there are a few good things that came out.
And
of
by
there.
the way, I didn't mean that, Jerry Jones. I'm actually going to be in Dallas in a couple of weeks doing podcasts and stuff. So
I got it. You know, it's. Do I hate the Red Sox more than I hate the Dallas Cowboys? Or because as a Yankee fan?
Listen, I don't think you have to.
I don't think
pick.
I hate Dallas.
I think you can hate them both.
Well, I don't hate Dallas because
Feel sorry.
I don't know. Do you know what the reigning record is? The record of us against Dallas for the last 10 games?
I don't.
You could look that up. Look that up. Google that, somebody.
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
good.
ugly.
All
right. Well, hey, we went way over time, but that's
Sorry.
cool. No, we could do this all, between you and me, dude. We can do this. Well, thank you for having us in your house at ZimVie, and thank you for coming on our podcast, the All In Practice Growth Podcast. But where should people go if they want to check out more about the Institute?
So there's a couple ways. You can go to our website, right, ZimVie.com, or you could go to our app. If you really want to see all of our educational courses, we have an educational app free to download. It's in like 134 countries, and we have all of our educational content there. All the on-demands are free, so you can go in and you could sit there for hours, hundreds of hours in watching content, and all of our course information is there. I'd go to our website or download the app, or contact your local representative near you.
All right. Well,
should we end with singing "Fly Eagles Fly" or no? Is that
you
wrong?
could start, but I'm going to end it. Go ahead and start singing.
Eagles.
And we'll catch you on the next All In Practice Growth Podcast. Good job, dude. That was good.
Thanks for listening to the All In Podcast. See you next time.